men waste years on the wrong women. Many men do not lose years because they lack opportunities. They lose years because they misinterpret signals. They invest time, focus, and emotional energy into women who were never serious to begin with. This is not a moral judgment. It is a pattern. Across cultures, age groups, and relationship stages, the same mistake repeats. Men confuse attention with affection, excitement with commitment, and drama with passion. The result is predictable. Months turn into years. Hope replaces evidence. Effort increases while clarity decreases. By the time the truth becomes undeniable, something critical has already been lost: time, self-respect, and direction. To understand this problem, one distinction must be made clear. Attraction is easy. Flirting is easy. Intimacy is easy. In modern dating, these are abundant and accessible. What is not easy, what is increasingly rare, is commitment. Commitment requires consistency, responsibility, long-term intention, willingness to align lives, not just emotions. And most importantly, commitment is never revealed through words alone. A woman can express interest verbally and still have no intention of staying. A woman can show affection and still keep her options open. A woman can create excitement while avoiding responsibility. This is why words are unreliable indicators. A critical point many men miss. A woman who is serious does not leave you confused. She does not rely on mixed signals. She does not force you to guess where you stand. Confusion is not romance. Confusion is not mystery. Confusion is not depth. Confusion is often a byproduct of misaligned intentions. When a man feels consistently uncertain, it is usually because effort is inconsistent. Communication lacks direction. Actions and words do not align. Serious intent simplifies. Casual intent complicates. This distinction alone can save years. Men do not ignore clarity because it is unavailable. They ignore it because clarity removes hope. Hope allows investment without evidence. Clarity demands decision, and decision requires responsibility. From a psychological perspective, uncertainty creates emotional highs and lows. Intermittent attention strengthens attachment. Drama can feel like passion when boundaries are weak. But from a strategic perspective, this is a trap. This video exists for one reason: to identify 9 undeniable signs that separate a woman who wants attention from a woman who wants commitment. Not theories, not opinions, not motivational cliches, but observable behaviors. The objective is not to make men cynical. The objective is to make men aware. Because awareness is the difference between investing wisely and wasting time, building a future and chasing validation, maintaining self-respect and negotiating against it. In Stoic philosophy, power does not come from control over others. It comes from control over perception and judgment. When a man sees clearly, he stops negotiating with uncertainty. He stops rationalizing inconsistency. He stops mistaking potential for intention. Clarity does not guarantee outcomes. It guarantees self-respect. And self-respect protects time, focus, direction. These are non-renewable assets. In the next sections, we will break down the 7 signs of real commitment, one by one. Each sign will focus on observable behavior, psychological meaning, practical interpretation. By the end, the goal is simple. You will no longer confuse attention with commitment. You will no longer guess where you stand. You will choose with clarity instead of hope. Because in relationships, as in life, clarity is not cruelty, clarity is strength. Let's begin. Sign number 1. Consistency. Why stability is the first proof of real commitment. Before discussing attraction, future plans, or emotional depth, one principle must be established clearly. Consistency is the foundation of commitment. Without consistency, nothing else matters. Many men search for dramatic signs of interest, intense chemistry, emotional highs, passionate moments. But commitment does not reveal itself through intensity. It reveals itself through patterns. Consistency answers a fundamental question every man must ask. Can I rely on this person over time, or only in moments? From a practical and psychological standpoint, this is the first filter that separates a relationship that can be built from a connection that only consumes attention. Consistency does not mean perfection. It does not mean constant availability. It does not mean obsession. Consistency means predictable effort, stable presence, aligned behavior over time. A woman who is serious, shows up regularly, invests steady time, energy, and attention, does not disappear without explanation, does not reset the relationship every few days. Her interest may fluctuate emotionally, but her behavior remains reliable. This distinction is critical. Inconsistency is often misunderstood. Many men interpret hot and cold behavior as mystery, emotional depth, proof of desire. In reality, inconsistency creates confusion. Confusion is a red flag. Confusion is not romantic. Examples of inconsistency: intense communication for a weekend, followed by silence for days. Sudden bursts of attention with no follow-up. Plans made enthusiastically, then cancelled or forgotten. Engagement only when she is bored, lonely, or seeking validation. This pattern signals entertainment, not intention. From a behavioral perspective, anyone can show interest temporarily. Very few maintain effort when there is no immediate reward. Commitment requires sustained investment. Consistency is observable. It does not require guessing. Key indicators include: 1. Reliable communication. Messages are returned within a reasonable, predictable time frame. Communication does not disappear without context. Tone remains respectful and engaged. This does not mean constant texting. It means dependable presence. 2. Genuine engagement. She asks questions and listens to answers. She remembers details from previous conversations. She follows up on things you mentioned. A meeting, a family issue, a goal or challenge. This indicates cognitive and emotional investment. 3. Making time, even when busy. She adjusts her schedule when possible. She does not rely solely on convenience. She includes you intentionally, not incidentally. This is a key behavioral marker. People always make time for what they value. One of the most damaging misunderstandings men have is this. They mistake consistency for neediness. They confuse steady effort with desperation. The difference is structural. Clinginess comes from insecurity, demands reassurance, drains energy, seeks validation. Consistency comes from commitment, offers stability, builds trust, strengthens connection. A serious woman contributes to your life. A desperate woman consumes it. If you feel drained, pressured, or overwhelmed, that is not consistency. If you feel grounded, respected, and clear, it likely is. From a Stoic perspective, this is where most men fail. They measure attraction by intensity, emotional spikes, excitement. But intensity is volatile. Stability is structural. A Stoic man evaluates relationships using one core metric. Does this interaction bring order or chaos into my life? Consistency brings order. Inconsistency breeds anxiety. High emotional peaks followed by silence do not indicate value. They indicate imbalance. The Stoic approach is observational. Notice patterns. Track behavior over time. Avoid emotional overinterpretation. Excitement fades. Stability endures. Consistency simplifies decision-making. When consistency is present, you do not second-guess. You do not chase clarity. You do not negotiate for attention. When consistency is absent, no amount of effort will create commitment. No conversation will replace behavior. No patience will fix misaligned intention. This is not pessimism. This is efficiency. Time is a non-renewable asset. To summarize, consistency is the first and most reliable sign of real commitment. It is revealed through patterns, not promises. Inconsistency creates confusion. Confusion is not a challenge to overcome, it is information. From a Stoic and strategic standpoint, measure attraction by stability, not intensity. Observe actions, not words. Value clarity over excitement. If consistency is missing, the answer is already present. And without consistency, no future sign will matter. In the next section, we will move beyond the present moment and examine the second sign of real commitment. Whether she includes you in her vision of the future. Because commitment does not stay in the now. It plans forward. Sign number 2. Including you in her future. While long-term thinking reveals real intent, commitment is not limited to the present moment. It is not defined by how someone feels today or this week. Commitment, by definition, is future-oriented. A woman who is serious does not experience the relationship as a temporary situation. She experiences it as a trajectory. This is why one of the clearest indicators of real commitment is whether you appear in her future thinking. Your presence is assumed, not negotiated. The future reveals intention because it requires foresight, planning, and emotional investment. A woman who sees you as long-term naturally integrates you into her mental framework. This integration shows up in subtle but consistent ways. 1. Language shift. We instead of I. Language reflects perception. Notice the difference between I'm thinking of traveling next year. We should go somewhere next year. The use of "we" is not accidental. It signals psychological inclusion, shared identity, assumed continuity. This does not mean exaggerating plans. It means mentally placing you in future scenarios. 2. Concrete future references. Serious women reference the future in specific terms. Upcoming trips, holidays, events, timelines. Examples: we could go there in the summer. By the end of the year, we'll probably have more time. Next month would be a good time for that. These are not fantasies. They are conceptual commitments. Future talk by itself is not sufficient. This is where many men make a costly mistake. Some women are comfortable discussing the future because it feels good. It creates emotional bonding. It costs nothing in the moment. Therefore, the correct metric is not, does she talk about the future? The correct metric is, does her behavior support those conversations? Indicators of real alignment. Plans are followed through. Dates are scheduled, not just imagined. Logistics are discussed, not avoided. If future talk repeatedly fails to materialize into action, it is not intention. It is entertainment. Avoidance is also information. If a woman changes the subject when the future is mentioned, keeps plans vague, resists timelines, frames everything as "we'll see," this usually indicates one thing. She does not see you as a long-term option. This does not require confrontation or interpretation. It requires observation. People naturally plan for what they want to keep. This sign must be evaluated in conjunction with consistency. A serious woman talks about the future, acts in alignment with those conversations, follows through without pressure. An unserious woman speaks optimistically, avoids commitment, resets expectations repeatedly. This difference becomes obvious over time. Strong men do not rush conclusions. They track patterns. From a Stoic perspective, the error is not trusting people. The error is trusting words over evidence. Stoicism teaches, observe reality as it is. Detach from emotional interpretation. Judge based on repeated behavior. Words are easy. They cost nothing. They carry no risk. Consistency and follow-through are expensive. They require effort and accountability. This is why words are cheap. Consistency is priceless. Understanding this sign changes how a man navigates relationships. It allows him to stop pushing for reassurance, stop over-investing prematurely, stop negotiating for clarity. Instead, he listens, observes, evaluates alignment over time. If the future is present in her actions, continue. If it is absent, withdraw investment calmly. This is not emotional withdrawal. It is strategic discipline. To summarize, commitment always includes the future. Serious women naturally integrate you into long-term thinking. Language, planning, and follow-through must align. Avoidance is a clear signal, not a mystery. From a Stoic and psychological standpoint, observe patterns. Value actions over promises. Let clarity guide decisions. When someone truly sees you in their future, you will not have to convince them. And when they do not, no conversation will change that. In the next section, we will examine sign number 3, where commitment becomes visible not through planning, but through prioritization. Because what a person prioritizes ultimately defines what they value. Sign number 3, emotional vulnerability. Why emotional openness reveals true commitment. Attraction can exist without trust. Intimacy can exist without commitment. But vulnerability cannot. Emotional vulnerability requires risk. It involves lowering defenses, revealing uncertainty, and allowing another person to see what is usually protected. This is why vulnerability functions as a filter. People who are not serious protect themselves emotionally. People who are invested gradually open up. A woman who becomes emotionally vulnerable is signaling something important. She sees the connection as safe. She believes the relationship has a future worth risking for. Vulnerability is often misunderstood as emotional instability or oversharing. In reality, emotional vulnerability is structured and intentional. A serious woman may share fears and insecurities, discuss past experiences that shaped her, talk about disappointments, regrets, or failures, express long-term hopes and personal dreams. These disclosures are not random. They represent emotional trust, psychological safety, intentional depth. Lowering emotional defenses is not a weakness. It is an investment. Trust is not built through time alone. It is built through response. When someone opens up emotionally, they are unconsciously asking, "Is it safe to be seen here? Will I be judged? Will this information be used against me?" A woman who continues to open up is responding positively to your behavior. This means she feels heard, she feels respected, she feels emotionally protected. Vulnerability increases only where trust exists. Emotional vulnerability is also a test, not for her, but for you. Specifically, can you listen without interrupting? Can you avoid minimizing her experience? Can you resist the urge to fix or control the situation? Many men fail this test without realizing it. Common mistakes include offering solutions when none are requested, reframing emotions logically instead of acknowledging them, dismissing feelings as not that serious, becoming anxious or defensive. These reactions communicate one message: this space is not safe. From a Stoic perspective, the correct response to vulnerability is presence, not intervention. A grounded response includes listening fully, remaining calm and non-reactive, acknowledging emotions without amplifying them, allowing silence when appropriate. This does not mean agreeing with everything. It means respecting emotional reality. Stoicism teaches self-mastery. Regulate your own reactions. Avoid emotional escalation. Maintain inner stability. A calm presence creates psychological safety. Emotional vulnerability also appears during conflict. A woman who is serious does not avoid tension indefinitely. Instead, she addresses issues directly, seeks resolution rather than escape, expresses discomfort instead of disappearing. Avoidance signals emotional withdrawal. Engagement signals investment. Conflict, handled correctly, strengthens trust. Recognizing vulnerability as a sign of commitment changes how men respond. Instead of retreating, overanalyzing, attempting control, a disciplined response is attentive, patient, stable. This approach encourages deeper connection, reinforces trust, clarifies intent. Emotional safety is not created through persuasion. It is created through consistency of response. To summarize, emotional vulnerability reveals true intention. It reflects trust, safety, and long-term thinking. Serious women lower emotional defenses gradually. How you respond determines whether vulnerability continues. From a Stoic and psychological perspective, remain calm, listen without fixing, observe without judgment. When vulnerability appears, commitment is already forming. In the next section, we will examine sign number 4, where intention becomes visible through prioritization and sacrifice. Because what someone protects reveals desire, but what they are willing to risk reveals commitment. Sign number 4, prioritization. Why priority is the clearest proof of serious intent. Words are easy. Attention is easy. Even affection can be temporary. But priority is costly. To prioritize someone requires time, effort, and conscious choice. And people do not invest those resources casually. This is why prioritization functions as one of the most reliable indicators of seriousness. Not because it feels good, but because it requires sacrifice. A woman who truly wants a future with you will not fit you into leftover space. She will make space. Prioritization is not grand gestures or constant availability. It is consistent allocation of time, energy, and presence. A serious woman demonstrates priority by rearranging her schedule when necessary, planning time in advance instead of relying on last-minute availability, showing up mentally, not just physically, being attentive rather than distracted. This does not mean abandoning her life. It means deliberately including you in it. People always find time for what matters to them. This principle is universal. Prioritization is not measured only in hours, but in quality of presence. When someone prioritizes you, conversations are focused. Attention is undivided. Engagement is intentional. Signs of genuine presence include listening without multitasking, remembering important details, responding thoughtfully rather than habitually. Time without presence is convenience. Presence reflects commitment. One of the most damaging positions a man can accept is being treated as an option. Options receive delayed responses, inconsistent availability, last-minute invitations, vague explanations. These patterns communicate uncertainty. Warning signs of low priority include consistently long reply times without explanation, frequent cancellations or rescheduling, repeated claims of being too busy, only seeing you when it is convenient. Busyness is not the issue. Lack of intention is. Many men tolerate low priority because they hope effort will change outcomes. This strategy fails for a simple reason. Accepting low priority lowers perceived value. It reinforces unequal investment. It erodes self-respect. When you accept crumbs, you teach others how to treat you. Priority is not earned through persistence. It is granted through choice. From a Stoic standpoint, the correct response to low priority is not confrontation or pleading. It is observation. Stoicism emphasizes clarity over emotion, behavior over promises, acceptance over resistance. A disciplined man watches patterns, measures actions, adjusts his investment accordingly. He does not beg for time. He does not argue for attention. He does not negotiate respect. If priority is missing, he steps back. Walking away is not punishment. It is alignment. When actions fail to demonstrate priority, the message is already clear. Continued pursuit only increases imbalance. A man who values himself recognizes time is finite, energy is non-renewable, attention is currency. He allocates these resources where they are reciprocated. To evaluate prioritization objectively, ask, is time made intentionally or incidentally? Are plans proactive or reactive? Is attention focused or divided? Do actions match stated interest? These questions remove emotion from analysis. Patterns reveal truth. To summarize, priority is proof of seriousness. Serious women make time instead of excuses. Presence matters more than availability. Being treated as an option signals lack of commitment. Stoic discipline requires observing actions and adjusting behavior. You should never have to fight for basic consideration. When priority exists, effort feels mutual, connection feels stable, respect feels implicit. When it does not, clarity replaces confusion. Walking away preserves dignity. In the next section, we will examine sign number 5. Where commitment becomes visible through inclusion into her personal world. Because attention may be given freely, but priority is reserved only for what truly matters. Sign number 5. Bringing you into her world. Why public inclusion reveals serious intent. Attraction often happens in private. Commitment, however, reveals itself in public. One of the clearest behavioral shifts between a casual connection and a serious relationship is visibility. A woman who sees you as temporary will keep you separated from the rest of her life. A woman who sees you as long-term will begin to integrate you into it. This is not about social status or validation. It is about alignment. Bringing someone into your world requires intention, vulnerability, and accountability. Integration does not happen all at once. It happens gradually and deliberately. A serious woman begins to introduce you to close friends, mention you in conversations within her inner circle, invite you to group settings, allow overlap between her private life and public life. These behaviors are not casual. They indicate pride in association, willingness to be seen with you, alignment between personal identity and relationship choice. People are selective about who they bring into their inner world. That selectivity is meaningful. Casual relationships are often compartmentalized. In these situations, you exist separately from her social life. Interactions remain private or isolated. Acknowledgement is limited or avoided. This separation serves a purpose. It preserves optionality. It avoids accountability. It reduces emotional exposure. Serious relationships function differently. Integration replaces compartmentalization. When someone integrates you, they allow overlap between life areas. They accept social accountability. They signal future orientation. Introducing someone to friends or family carries psychological weight. It involves social judgment, emotional risk, alignment of values. Women do not introduce men they see as temporary into spaces that matter to them. If her friends already know your name, know details about your life, recognize your role, that information came from her. It suggests ongoing discussion, emotional significance, future consideration. Being introduced is a signal, not a promise. It indicates seriousness, not permanence. This distinction is critical. Some men overvalue this step and assume certainty. That assumption leads to complacency or emotional overinvestment. A disciplined approach recognizes introduction reflects intention. Continuation requires alignment. Patterns matter more than moments. Integration alone is insufficient. It must align with consistency in communication, support for your goals, loyalty through action. If inclusion exists without these elements, it is incomplete. True commitment appears when public behavior matches private behavior. Words match actions. Inclusion remains consistent over time. Alignment confirms intention. From a Stoic standpoint, the correct response to being integrated is not excitement or assumption. It is grounded observation. A Stoic man stays emotionally regulated, avoids projection, watches patterns over time. He understands. Signals require confirmation. Consistency validates intention. Behavior reveals truth. He neither chases validation nor withdraws prematurely. To evaluate integration objectively, ask: am I acknowledged publicly or kept private? Is inclusion increasing or stagnant? Do her friends know who I am? Does her behavior remain consistent across settings? These questions clarify reality. To summarize, serious women do not hide relationships they value. Integration signals intention, not certainty. Casual connections remain compartmentalized. Inclusion must align with consistency, support, and loyalty. Stoic discipline requires patience and observation. Visibility does not guarantee permanence, but invisibility almost always signals impermanence. In the next section, we will examine sign number 6, where commitment becomes evident through support for your growth and purpose. Because attraction may begin in private, but commitment always steps into the light. Sign number 6, supporting and challenging your growth. Why alignment with your mission signals real commitment. Attraction can exist without direction. Comfort can exist without progress. But commitment aligns with growth. One of the most reliable indicators that a woman is serious about you is how she relates to your mission, discipline, and long-term development. A woman who sees you as temporary will prioritize ease and emotional reassurance. A woman who sees you as long-term will care about who you are becoming. Growth-oriented alignment is not loud or dramatic. It is visible through behavior over time. Casual relationships often revolve around comfort. In these dynamics, a woman may seek frequent attention, resist changes that reduce availability, prefer routine over challenge, subtly discourage ambition. This does not necessarily come from bad intentions. It comes from misaligned priorities. Serious women operate differently. They understand that discipline requires focus. Ambition demands sacrifice. Growth involves discomfort. Instead of competing with your purpose, they align with it. Support is often misunderstood as constant agreement or emotional reassurance. In reality, true support is behavioral, not verbal. Signs of genuine support include encouraging you during demanding periods, respecting your need for focus and solitude, understanding delayed gratification, showing patience when progress requires time. A serious woman does not interpret your discipline as neglect. She recognizes it as investment. She understands that your growth benefits both the individual and the future relationship. Support alone is incomplete without challenge. Growth-oriented women do not merely comfort. They strengthen. Constructive challenge involves honest feedback delivered respectfully, questioning complacency, encouraging higher standards, calling out inconsistency without hostility. This is not criticism meant to control. It is challenge meant to refine. Sabotage diminishes effort. Challenge sharpens it. Behavior reveals orientation. A woman aligned with your growth will celebrate wins without envy. Acknowledge effort, not just outcomes. Encourage continuous improvement. Remain supportive during setbacks. She does not compete with your success. She does not minimize your goals. She does not frame ambition as ego. Instead, she recognizes progress as identity. Growth requires emotional regulation. Women who are serious understand that development is non-linear. Setbacks are part of mastery. Pressure is temporary. They do not create unnecessary emotional turbulence during demanding phases. Stability becomes a form of support. A growth-aligned woman contributes calm, not chaos. From a Stoic viewpoint, challenge is not an obstacle. It is a tool. Stoicism teaches strength is forged through resistance. Progress requires discomfort. Excellence demands discipline. A strong man does not avoid challenge. He welcomes it. When a woman challenges you constructively, she tests your resolve. She sharpens your standards. She reveals her long-term orientation. As the Stoic principle states, iron sharpens iron. To assess growth alignment objectively, ask, does she support my discipline or undermine it? Are my goals respected or dismissed? Does she encourage improvement or prefer comfort? Is challenge delivered constructively or destructively? These questions clarify intent. Patterns matter more than reassurance. To summarize, serious women align with your mission. Casual connections prioritize comfort and attention. Real support respects discipline and focus. Constructive challenge strengthens character. Growth-oriented behavior celebrates effort and progress. Stoic discipline welcomes resistance as refinement. A woman who supports your growth sees you not only as you are, but as who you are becoming. We will examine sign number 7, respecting your boundaries and values. Sign number 7, respecting your boundaries and values. Why respect is a non-negotiable signal of real commitment. One of the clearest indicators of a woman's seriousness is not how much attention she gives you, but how she responds to your boundaries. Boundaries are not walls. They are definitions of who you are, what you value, and what you will not compromise. A woman who truly wants a serious relationship does not challenge those boundaries. She respects them. A serious woman understands that commitment requires mutual respect. This is reflected in her behavior. She respects your time, even when your priorities do not revolve around her. She respects your space, without guilt tripping or pressure. She respects your goals and values, even when they require discipline or sacrifice. Importantly, she does not demand that you abandon your principles to keep her comfortable. A woman who is emotionally mature and serious avoids manipulative behaviors, such as using silence as punishment, creating jealousy to regain control, applying emotional pressure to force compliance. These tactics signal insecurity, not commitment. Serious women seek cooperation, not domination. The true test occurs when you set a firm boundary. Observe her response. Does she listen without escalating? Does she adjust her behavior? Does she respect your decision even if she disagrees? Her reaction reveals her level of maturity more clearly than any promise ever could. From a Stoic standpoint, respecting your boundaries means respecting who you are. Anyone who disregards your boundaries will eventually disregard commitment itself. A Stoic man does not argue for respect. He sets boundaries calmly and observes reactions. Respect is either present or it is not. To summarize, serious women respect boundaries without resistance. Manipulation signals a lack of long-term intent. How she reacts to your firmness reveals her seriousness. Respect for boundaries is respect for commitment. Where boundaries are honored, trust can grow. Where boundaries are violated, commitment cannot survive. Clarity begins with respect. Sign number 8: taking responsibility and owning mistakes. Why accountability is the hidden foundation of real commitment. In any serious relationship, conflict is inevitable. Misunderstandings happen, emotions rise, mistakes are made. The real question is not whether conflict occurs, but how a person responds when they are wrong. One of the clearest indicators that a woman is genuinely serious about you is her ability to take responsibility without excuses, without deflection, and without turning the situation against you. Accountability is not about perfection. It is about maturity. A woman who is serious about building something long-term understands one fundamental principle. Trust is built through responsibility, not through image management. In practical terms, this shows up in several consistent behaviors. She acknowledges her mistakes instead of shifting blame. She does not rewrite events to protect her ego. She accepts her role in conflict without minimizing its impact. Most importantly, her apology is not just verbal. Serious women apologize through behavioral change, not emotional performances. Anyone can say, "I'm sorry." Few people are willing to change. A sincere apology includes clear acknowledgement of what went wrong, understanding of how it affected you, a visible effort to prevent the same mistake in the future. This is the difference between emotional maturity and emotional convenience. Words are temporary. Patterns reveal truth. Conflict exposes character faster than comfort ever will. When disagreements arise, a serious woman does not avoid difficult conversations. Play the victim to gain emotional leverage. Redirect responsibility back onto you. Use guilt, silence, or emotional withdrawal as punishment. These behaviors are defensive mechanisms designed to protect ego, not connection. Instead, she stays engaged. She addresses issues directly, even when it's uncomfortable. Another defining trait of seriousness is learning capacity. After conflict, observe what happens next. Does she reflect on the situation? Does she adjust her behavior moving forward? Does the same issue keep resurfacing? Serious women treat conflict as feedback, not as a threat. They don't just resolve the moment, they improve the relationship. This creates stability over time. At its core, this sign reveals a powerful distinction. Casual individuals protect their ego. Serious individuals protect the relationship. When ego dominates, responsibility disappears. When commitment exists, accountability becomes natural. A woman who cannot admit fault is not emotionally available for partnership, no matter how strong the attraction. From a Stoic lens, responsibility is non-negotiable. Stoicism teaches that character is revealed through action, not intention. Growth begins with ownership. Strength comes from self-governance, not defensiveness. A person unwilling to accept responsibility is not yet capable of commitment. Trust cannot exist where accountability is absent. A grounded man does not demand apologies. He observes behavior. He does not argue for accountability. He watches how conflict is handled. If responsibility is present, trust can grow. If it is absent, distance becomes wisdom. Stoicism is not about control, it is about clarity. To summarize, serious women take responsibility instead of shifting blame. Apologies are followed by changed behavior. Conflict is met with engagement, not avoidance. Learning replaces repetition. Ego is set aside in favor of connection. From a Stoic perspective, responsibility is the foundation of trust. No one is ready for commitment until they are willing to admit when they are wrong. And in relationships, as in life, accountability is not weakness, it is strength. In the final section, we will examine sign number 9, where commitment becomes undeniable through loyalty under pressure. Because attraction may begin with chemistry, but commitment reveals itself through shared growth and strengthened purpose. Sign number 9. Loyalty proven by action. Why loyalty is the ultimate evidence of commitment. Attraction can be expressed. Interest can be stated. Promises can be spoken. But loyalty must be demonstrated. Among all signs of commitment, loyalty stands apart because it cannot be fabricated for long. It appears not in moments of ease, but in moments of tension, uncertainty, and pressure. This is why loyalty functions as the final and most decisive indicator of seriousness. Loyalty requires consistency under stress. Anyone can appear committed when conditions are favorable. Loyalty is revealed when those conditions change. It demands voluntary restraint, long-term orientation, emotional discipline. A serious woman does not perform loyalty. She lives it. Loyalty is visible through behavior, not language. A woman who is truly serious will voluntarily close off other romantic options. Stop flirting or seeking external validation. Maintain clear boundaries with others. Remain present during conflict rather than withdrawing. These behaviors occur without negotiation or surveillance. They reflect internal choice, not external pressure. The most accurate measure of loyalty is behavior in private contexts. Consider how she speaks about you when you are absent, how she represents you to others, whether she protects your reputation, whether she honors agreements without reminders. Loyalty expressed only in public is incomplete. True loyalty persists when accountability is absent. Conflict is not the enemy of loyalty. It is the testing ground. During disagreement, loyal partners address issues directly. Avoid manipulation or threats. Seek resolution rather than leverage. Remain respectful under pressure. Casual relationships handle conflict differently. Common patterns include threatening to leave, using withdrawal as punishment, escalating issues for control, involving third parties. These behaviors signal instability, not commitment. Some individuals use conflict as leverage. They create uncertainty to maintain power, threaten abandonment to gain compliance, hedge options instead of committing. This strategy undermines trust and long-term viability. Loyalty cannot coexist with coercion. Stoic philosophy emphasizes reality over narrative, action over intention, behavior over explanation. A Stoic man does not debate loyalty. He observes it. He understands. Words are inexpensive. Consistency is costly. Loyalty is proven through endurance. As Stoicism teaches, character is revealed under pressure. To evaluate loyalty objectively, ask, does she stay engaged during difficulty? Are other options clearly closed? How does she speak about me to others? Is conflict used to resolve or to control? These questions clarify reality without emotion. To summarize, loyalty is the highest form of commitment. It cannot be faked or negotiated. Serious women close off alternatives voluntarily. Loyalty appears when no one is watching. Conflict reveals alignment or instability. Stoic discipline demands judging actions, not declarations. Comfort does not test loyalty. Difficulty does. A woman who remains steady under pressure demonstrates more than affection. She demonstrates commitment. With this final sign, clarity replaces confusion. Because in the end, loyalty is not what is promised. It is what remains when conditions are no longer comfortable. Choosing clarity over confusion. As we reach the end of this discussion, it is important to step back and look at the larger picture. Most men do not fail in relationships because they lack effort. They fail because they misinterpret signals. They mistake attention for commitment. They confuse excitement with seriousness. They stay invested long after reality has already revealed itself. The purpose of this video was never to teach manipulation, persuasion, or tactics. Its purpose was clarity. Because clarity protects what matters most to a man: his time, his focus, and his self-respect. Let us briefly restate the 9 indicators of genuine commitment discussed throughout this video. Not as theory, but as observable patterns of behavior. A woman who is truly serious demonstrates consistency. She shows up reliably. Her effort does not fluctuate based on mood or convenience. Future planning that includes you. She naturally speaks in terms of we and makes plans that extend beyond the present moment. Emotional vulnerability. She lowers her defenses, shares her inner world, and trusts you with emotional depth. Prioritization. She makes time without excuses and does not treat you as an option. Inclusion in her world. She introduces you to friends, family, and her inner circle, signaling intentional presence. Support for your growth. She respects your discipline, challenges you constructively, and aligns with your mission. Respecting your boundaries and values. A serious woman respects your time, principles, and personal boundaries, listens when you say no, and does not use emotional manipulation to control you. Taking responsibility and owning mistakes. She is willing to admit fault, face conflict directly, and prove her apology through changed behavior. Because responsibility is the foundation of trust and commitment. Loyalty proven through action. She closes other options, stays during conflict, and defends the connection when tested. Individually, these signs may appear subtle. Collectively, they are unmistakable. Here is the uncomfortable reality. Most men ignore the absence of these signs and waste years hoping something will change. They negotiate with uncertainty. They rationalize inconsistency. They remain loyal to potential rather than evidence. But attention is common. Attraction is easy. Commitment is rare. And time, once spent, cannot be recovered. From a Stoic perspective, this is not a moral failure. It is a failure of observation. Strong men do not argue with reality. They recognize it. If these signs are consistently missing, the correct response is not anger, persuasion, or resentment. The correct response is acceptance. Accept what is being shown, not what is being promised. Accept that desire does not equal direction. Accept that staying without clarity erodes self-respect. Then, walk away calmly. Not as punishment, not as leverage, but as self-alignment. Leaving confusion is an act of strength, not loss. If these signs are present and consistent over time, recognize them for what they are. They are proof, not of perfection, not of certainty, but of intention. Commitment is not declared, it is demonstrated. And when actions align with words, trust can be built gradually and rationally. Stoicism does not demand emotional detachment. It demands emotional discernment. At the center of everything discussed lies one principle. Choose clarity. Clarity leads to strength. Strength earns respect. Respect builds legacy. A man who chooses clarity does not chase validation. He does not beg for priority. He does not negotiate his worth. He observes. He decides. He moves forward with purpose. If this video made you reflect on past relationships, if you realized you may have ignored signs that were always there, remember this. Attention is cheap, commitment is rare, and your time is priceless. If you don't want to repeat old mistakes, If you want relationships built on clarity, respect, and real value, right finger hit subscribe. This channel doesn't teach you how to chase. It teaches you how to see clearly. Right finger like this video if you believe strong men choose clarity over confusion. Right finger comment below. Which sign did you ignore, and what did it cost you? And remember, a man does not lose value when he is rejected. He loses value when he stays where there is no commitment. I'll see you in the next video, where we talk about strength, discipline, and masculine clarity through Stoic philosophy.